Discussions about Trump's security measures have been dominating conversations recently, particularly following assassination attempts and an intensely competitive presidential race. From the multi-million-dollar Secret Service operations to the unwavering presence of Keith Schiller, Trump's former personal bodyguard, every aspect of his security apparatus is meticulously designed to shield him from harm. Yet, much of this elaborate system operates out of public view, with new demands from military-grade resources, skyrocketing expenses, and what could be considered one of the most comprehensive security plans ever implemented for a president. There's a lot to uncover. So, let's take a closer look at what it truly takes to safeguard one of the world's most scrutinized leaders. Protecting Trump is no small task. As one of the most well-known and controversial figures in recent U.S. history, Donald Trump continued to receive substantial Secret Service protection after leaving office, a costly arrangement that has sparked both criticism and intrigue due to its significant price tag and unusual requirements. Federal law grants lifetime Secret Service protection to former presidents, their spouses, and any children under 16 years old. This protection stems from the former President's Act of 1958, which was established to uphold the dignity of the presidency by ensuring the safety and honoring the service of all past presidents. For Trump, this law guarantees protection for himself, his wife Melania, and their youngest son Barron. However, in the waning days of his administration, Trump made a distinctive request regarding his security detail. He asked for a 6-month extension of Secret Service protection for his grown children and their spouses. Due to the Trump family's high visibility and intricate security demands, this request significantly boosted costs, especially given their frequent travel. The extended protection applied to Trump's adult children, Ivanka Trump and her spouse Jared Kushner, Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump along with his wife Laura, and Tiffany Trump. Typically, adult children presidents are not entitled to ongoing Secret Service protection, but Trump's appeal was approved, leading to prolonged coverage and escalated expenses. Reports indicated that this additional protection placed a substantial financial load on taxpayers because of the extensive resources required. A considerable portion of the Secret Service's expenditures for Trump's family was attributed to their travel. Their global prominence and business ventures regularly took them abroad, requiring Secret Service agents to accompany them on these trips. For example, the U.S. Government Accountability Office noted that just a few international trips taken by Trump's sons, Donald Jr. and Eric, incurred costs of approximately $396,000. These journeys included visits to the United Arab Emirates, Uruguay, and the Dominican Republic. Between 2017 and 2019, more than 4,500 trips by Trump's family members required Secret Service involvement, which resulted in substantial taxpayer costs. A striking instance involves visits to Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. In 2017 alone, the Secret Service incurred expenses of about $1.3 million for each of Trump's initial 4 trips to the property. That same year, total travel-related costs for Trump reached an extraordinary $13.6 million. Factoring in expenses from the Secret Service, the Department of Defense, and other key agencies responsible for securing the president during his travels. Another contentious issue stems from the Trump family's use of Trump-owned properties for their Secret Service protection details, such as the Washington, D.C. hotel and Mar-a-Lago itself. These arrangements resulted in substantial earnings for Trump's businesses, as highlighted by the House Oversight Committee. According to their report, Trump hotels frequently charged the Secret Service rates that exceeded the government's per diem limit by as much as 300%. The per diem refers to the daily maximum the government allocates for lodging expenses. For instance, when Secret Service agents stayed at Trump's Washington hotel, they were billed far beyond the established limits and faced higher charges than other guests, including foreign officials and prominent figures. Although Eric Trump previously claimed that the Trump Organization provided complimentary stays for Secret Service personnel, findings by the House committee contradicted this assertion. Documents revealed that the organization charged the Secret Service exceptionally high rates, often reaching triple the government-approved budget. The financial ramifications of these arrangements created what many have referred to as a notable conflict of interest. According to the Emoluments Clause in the U.S. Constitution, a president is prohibited from receiving payments from the federal government beyond their official salary. While prior presidents took measures to separate themselves from business ventures that might infringe upon this clause, Trump opted to retain ownership, enabling his enterprises to benefit financially from taxpayer money via Secret Service expenses. During his presidency, Trump's businesses reportedly obtained roughly $7.8 million in federal payments, primarily attributed to Secret Service charges. Efforts to hold him accountable under the Emoluments Clause ultimately failed, as the U.S. Supreme Court dismissed such cases in January 2021, deeming them irrelevant following Trump's departure from office. Nonetheless, criticism of these practices persists. During his presidency, Trump's hotel in Washington became a gathering spot for Republican lawmakers, government officials, and foreign dignitaries, many of whom paid substantial sums for accommodations. Among the notable guests were federal judges, ambassadors, and individuals who would later receive presidential pardons. This activity sparked backlash from ethics watchdogs and congressional Democrats, who argued that Trump's decision to maintain financial ties to his businesses created a conflict between his private financial gains and his public duties. Interestingly, despite significant revenue during Trump's time in office, the Trump International Hotel in Washington suffered financial setbacks. partly due to the COVID-19 pandemic, generating approximately $150 million throughout his presidency. The hotel reportedly suffered net losses of $70 million, largely attributed to reduced bookings and travel restrictions brought on by the pandemic. In 2022, Trump decided to sell the hotel's lease, after which it reopened under the Waldorf Astoria brand. Since the rebranding, reports indicate that visits from Republican groups, who were significant patrons during Trump's ownership, have markedly decreased. Given Trump's prominent status and potential political ambitions, the cost of ensuring his security and that of his family is expected to remain high. While the extended Secret Service protection for his adult children officially ceased 6 months after he left office, significant expenses continue for safeguarding Trump, Melania, and Barron. According to GAO findings and prior spending patterns, it is projected that maintaining security for Trump could cost millions annually, particularly if he continues to travel extensively and stay politically active. Keith Schiller, Trump's former bodyguard, has a career story far from ordinary. Once a New York City police officer, Schiller transitioned into serving as one of Trump's most trusted confidants and closest aides. His role extended beyond physical protection, as he became a key inner circle member and a direct liaison for Trump. Yet the intriguing aspect of Schiller's tenure isn't just about his unwavering loyalty. It's also about how that dedication translated to financial benefits even after his official role with Trump concluded. Schiller began his journey with the NYPD, gaining first-hand experience in navigating all kinds of scenarios on the streets of New York City. Over the course of more than 10 years, he refined his abilities in managing both people and chaos, skills that would prove invaluable in the role he would soon take on. In 1999, Schiller became part of Donald Trump's security team, not realizing he was stepping into one of the most unconventional and enduring security jobs in the political realm. His responsibilities range from removing unwelcome attendees at events to overseeing safety at major public appearances, and Schiller quickly became far more than just a bodyguard. He effectively served as Trump's go-to man for maintaining order, or as much order as was possible in Trump's world. Schiller earned a reputation for personally addressing issues, including an incident where he was reportedly asked to escort Rosie O'Donnell out at a charity event on Trump's behalf. Trump saw in Schiller someone who could handle assignments unquestioningly, fostering a deep sense of trust between the two. When Trump assumed the presidency in 2017, Schiller followed him to the White House to serve as the director of Oval Office operations. In this position, he controlled access to Trump within the Oval Office, but it was apparent early on that Schiller was more at ease in the private sector, where his expertise in security took precedence over navigating political bureaucracy. Just months after starting the role, Schiller stepped away from his position at the White House and transitioned back to private life, though his ties to Trump remained intact, evolving in a different way. Schiller's steadfast loyalty continued to yield rewards, but this time, the financial backing came from the Republican National Committee. Shortly after his departure, Schiller began receiving regular payments from the RNC. His company, Kansas Global Group, was paid $15,000 per month, accumulating an impressive $585,500 over a span of more than 3 years. But what services was Schiller providing in return? The RNC stated that his work involved offering security consulting for the 2020 Republican National Convention. To put into perspective, $15,000 a month is a sum greater than what many people earn over a full year, and Schiller didn't even operate on a daily basis. The RNC elaborated that his responsibilities focused on advising about security needs for potential convention locations. Critics and oversight groups, however, voiced skepticism about the validity of these payments, with some suggesting the funds operated more like a loosely regulated slush fund. Commentators on politics suggested that the payments to Schiller were less about substantial security, consulting, and more about ensuring Trump's inner circle remained connected. The initiation of these payments right after Schiller's departure from the White House sparked speculation. The timing led many to believe that the RNC was stepping in to provide Schiller with financial stability following his exit from Trump's official team. By the conclusion of Trump's presidency in 2021, this arrangement proved quite lucrative for Schiller, who had amassed over $500,000 from the RNC alone. During this period, he purchased a 4-bedroom house in Palm Beach County, Florida, conveniently close to Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. For Schiller, loyalty wasn't just acknowledged with gratitude or a pat on the back. It often came with tangible financial benefits. Providing monetary support to loyal allies has been a consistent practice within Trump's network, and Schiller's situation perfectly encapsulated this tradition. In Trump's sphere, unwavering allegiance is a prized trait and is often rewarded through unconventional channels. While others associated with Trump maintained a public presence, Schiller notably chose to remain out of the spotlight. He was never one to seek the spotlight, avoiding press conferences or interviews, yet he played a crucial role behind the scenes. However, one significant exception came in 2017 when he testified regarding the controversial Steele dossier. During this testimony, he refuted claims that Trump had engaged in inappropriate conduct during a visit to Moscow in 2013. When questioned about allegations suggesting a Russian individual offered to send women to Trump's hotel suite, Schiller's response was straightforward: "We don't do that sort of thing." Some believe that the payments Schiller received were as much about ensuring his unwavering loyalty as they were about his security expertise. After nearly 2 decades working closely with Trump, Schiller had likely been privy to more confidential information than most individuals in Trump's inner circle. With the Republican National Committee financially rewarding his loyalty, it was highly improbable that Schiller would ever betray that trust. His story reflects Trump's distinctive approach to loyalty. Those who remain committed to him are often rewarded generously and in unconventional ways. Although the RNC's payments might raise eyebrows, in Trump's orbit, they serve as a tool to keep trusted allies within reach, even if they no longer have daily responsibilities. Schiller's financial arrangement with the RNC concluded in January 2021, but his legacy as Trump's loyal bodyguard and confidant endures. He is among the rare figures who succeeded in maintaining allegiance to Donald Trump while also preserving a largely untarnished public image, an uncommon accomplishment in the scandal-prone realm of politics. How extensive is Donald Trump's security? Since departing the White House, Trump's life has been far from typical, particularly regarding the protective measures surrounding him. While most former presidents gradually recede into lower-profile lives, Trump remains a highly visible public figure, requiring his security team to stay perpetually vigilant. Factor in recent assassination plots and heightened threats, and it becomes evident why his protection has been significantly bolstered. Former presidents typically receive lifelong Secret Service protection, generally with around 80 agents assigned to safeguard them. However, Trump's circumstances are unique. Due to credible threats against his life, Congress has authorized an expansion of his security detail, increasing personnel and resources. This decision has led to changes in how the Secret Service manages his protection, incorporating advanced technology and specialized units. To fully grasp Trump's reinforced security measures, it's helpful to first consider the standard protocol. A former president would usually rely on approximately 80 Secret Service agents for their ongoing safety. Not every agent is constantly at Trump's side. Instead, they are part of a broader network, operating in rotating shifts and coordinating logistical aspects like travel plans and securing perimeters. The detail closest to Trump comprises personal protection officers who remain within reach at all times. Depending on the perceived risk level, additional specialized units, such as snipers, counter-assault squads, and counter-surveillance teams, can be deployed. Normally, a former president would only require a core team and basic monitoring, but Trump's security setup mirrors the extensive measures usually reserved for a sitting president. This enhanced protection stems from a growing number of threats. Over the past year, several incidents have compelled the Secret Service to re-evaluate their strategies. For example, last summer in Pennsylvania, a serious assassination plot unfolded during one of Trump's public events. This alarming incident prompted the Department of Homeland Security to establish an independent review board tasked with identifying flaws and suggesting improvements. One major criticism from the panel centered on the strain, do more with less culture that has left the agency overextended. Following a series of incidents, the Biden administration sought extra funding to bolster the elevated security measures initially established for Trump. In September 2024, Congress acted swiftly to approve the Enhanced Presidential Security Act. This legislation mandates that the Secret Service evaluate the protection needs of former presidents based on prevailing threat levels. As a result, Trump's security has been significantly upgraded, granting him access to cutting-edge technology and resources unmatched by any prior ex-president. After the Pennsylvania event, the Secret Service intensified its reliance on advanced technology to enhance Trump's safety. For instance, drones have become a pivotal tool for overseeing vast areas, particularly when Trump appears in open or public venues. These drones are instrumental in identifying potential dangers from an aerial perspective, providing live updates and comprehensive monitoring of his surroundings. Beyond drones, the Secret Service has also overhauled its communication infrastructure. Emphasis has been placed on strengthening collaboration between Secret Service teams and local law enforcement agencies. With more sophisticated communication equipment now in use, agents can maintain seamless coordination regardless of whether Trump is at Mar-a-Lago, Bedminster, or elsewhere. These upgrades reflect the unique challenges presented by the complexities of Trump's lifestyle. Unlike many former presidents who typically enjoy a quieter retirement, Trump remains highly active, frequently traveling for rallies and public events. Each new destination necessitates that the Secret Service builds security protocols from the ground up. This process includes advanced teams arriving ahead of Trump's visit to secure the location, evaluate potential threats, and collaborate with local law enforcement agencies. It is a complex and demanding task that requires both accuracy and adaptability. Protecting a former president always carries significant costs, but Trump-specific requirements make his security particularly expensive. For the 2024 fiscal year, the Secret Service's budget was approximately $3.1 billion, reflecting a 9% hike from the previous year. Out of this, over $1 billion was designated exclusively for the protection of individuals and facilities, encompassing the expenses involved in safeguarding prominent figures, such as Trump. To give some perspective, Ronald Kessler, an author well-versed in the Secret Service's operations, noted that the agency's entire budget is comparable to the cost of a single stealth bomber. This striking comparison emphasizes the constraints on the Secret Service's resources. When the agency faces unplanned costs, like bolstering Trump's security measures, it puts further strain on their financial capacity. Recent changes in legislation have bolstered protections for Trump, including increased funding for the Secret Service. Yet these additional resources might still fall short of covering the mounting costs. The agency has had to devote more staff and money to Trump's security team, pulling these assets away from other critical duties. This reallocation has sparked concerns among both former agents and lawmakers, with some doubting whether the agency can manage the escalating demands. Protecting Trump isn't solely the Secret Service's responsibility. While they manage his immediate protection, local police play a vital part in safeguarding surrounding areas. For instance, during visits to his golf course, Secret Service personnel secure the spaces immediately around him, while local law enforcement oversees the outer perimeter, ensuring no unauthorized individuals approach. This collaboration between federal agents and local officers provides an additional layer of protection, making it more challenging for any threats to bypass safeguards. Former Secret Service agent Jason Russell notes that while federal agents focus on close-range security, local officers are tasked with maintaining control over public areas further away. This partnership ensures robust protection while allowing Trump to maintain mobility and avoid feeling confined. His unpredictable schedule and active lifestyle create challenges not commonly encountered with most former presidents. Unlike many former presidents who settle into a quieter life in various locations, his movements are often announced at the last moment, requiring rapid action from the Secret Service. A recent example of this occurred during an unplanned golf outing in Florida. Reports surfaced of a gunman who managed to stay concealed in nearby bushes for almost 12 hours before Trump arrived. Although the Secret Service responded promptly, the situation sparked concerns about how the individual had prior knowledge of Trump's presence at the golf course. This prompted a comprehensive investigation, emphasizing greater efforts to safeguard Trump's privacy and enhance the security of communication to prevent further leaks. Due to these uncertainties, the security team assigned to Trump remains on constant high alert, ready to pivot their plans instantly. Beyond standard protocols, they regularly reevaluate each location, taking into account aspects like visibility, access points, and potential escape routes. Such precautions are vital in ensuring Trump's safety, considering his prominent public profile and ongoing threats. With increased financial support and the implementation of advanced strategies, the Secret Service has pledged to provide Trump with a security detail that matches the level he had during his time in office. Acting Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe has stated that the agency is fully committed to maintaining top-tier protection for Trump as long as necessary. Given the current state of politics and the persistent threats to Donald Trump's safety, this strategy has become crucial. The Secret Service appears to be leaving no room for error, ensuring his security team remains highly vigilant and prepared. Whether this heightened level of protection will persist long-term is unclear, but for now, Trump's security detail operates much like that of a sitting president. Safeguarding a former president like Trump is undoubtedly a complex task, especially considering the intense scrutiny and high-profile image he upholds. To meet these demands, the Secret Service has had to adjust rapidly, committing additional resources and embracing expanded duties. This undertaking is not without its costs, straining the agency's capabilities, yet for Trump's protective unit, it's just another part of their mission. ####new security requests. In recent months, as Donald Trump has ramped up campaign efforts for the 2024 presidential race, his team has been making some rather unorthodox security demands. Believing that standard Secret Service measures might fall short in managing the increasing threats, they have been advocating for military-grade protections, something typically reserved for current presidents or select top officials. Trump's campaign envisions everything from heavily armored vehicles to advanced military aircraft, essentially turning his security operations into a fortified stronghold while he travels nationwide. However, this push is not simply about assembling an extravagant entourage. Citing heightened safety risks, including threats from international actors like Iran, Trump's campaign has raised specific concerns. With ongoing friction between the United States and Iran, his team believes that Iranian operatives or supporters could potentially target his rallies. Trump's firm stance against Tehran, particularly during his presidency, made him a focal point of animosity due to his stringent policies, which included imposing crushing sanctions and ordering the killing of General Qasem Soleimani, a prominent figure deeply respected in Iran. These actions left a significant imprint on Iranian leadership, fueling worries within Trump's circle that retaliation could be sought if circumstances allow. A key request from Trump's campaign involves securing military-grade aircraft for his travel needs. While former presidents are routinely provided Secret Service protection and access to private or commercial planes for campaign events, Trump is reportedly advocating for planes typically reserved for sitting presidents or high-ranking officials. These aircraft come equipped with cutting-edge communication systems, missile defense technology, and security features far beyond those of standard private or commercial options. His team asserts such measures are essential to ensure his safety as a prominent target with a record of contentious policies towards certain nations. Additionally, the campaign is emphasizing the need for armored vehicles as part of enhanced security provisions. Although Trump currently benefits from customary protection offered by Secret Service agents and armored SUVs, reports suggest he is requesting access to military-grade armored vehicles typically designated for use in high-risk conflict zones. These are essentially mobile fortresses, enormous, robustly armored machines designed to endure explosions and gunfire far beyond the capabilities of traditional armored SUVs. The logic behind this is straightforward. If Trump needs to travel through areas where threats may arise, his campaign wants to ensure he is protected by more than just a reinforced vehicle. They want him in an impenetrable stronghold. These unusual demands have sparked debate within the security community. Some professionals believe that employing military-grade protection for a civilian political figure is excessive. While it's true that former presidents already receive enhanced security, Trump's requests appear to significantly exceed the typical arrangements. Experts, including former Secret Service personnel, highlight that while every president faces threats, it's rare for a former president to seek such extraordinary resources beyond those already provided. Nonetheless, Trump's team insists that exceptional factors, specifically international risks combined with today's divisive political environment, warrant these heightened measures. Naturally, such advanced security measures come with a hefty cost. The Secret Service operates with a solid budget, but outfitting a civilian campaign with military-grade resources and equipment could introduce substantial extra costs. The price tag for items like armored vehicles, advanced aircraft, and enhanced security details can easily climb into the millions. Since these funds come from taxpayers, it's no surprise that there's been public debate on the matter. Some opponents suggest that Trump's campaign should cover part of these expenses if they exceed the typical scope of Secret Service duties. On the other hand, many believe that, as a former president, he deserves heightened protection due to the unique threats he faces. This situation also raises concerns about setting a precedent. Should Trump's request for elevated security be approved, it might redefine the expectations for safeguarding other former presidents who decide to run again in the future. The implications are clear. Such circumstances could lead to each subsequent candidate demanding the same military-grade measures, significantly raising costs and potentially overburdening security resources. Trump's team, however, insists that these demands are not about indulgence or arrogance, but stem from genuine necessity. They reference particular threats, highlighting online discussions and intelligence reports that allegedly suggest a heightened level of danger. Much of this data remains classified, making it challenging to fully assess the seriousness of these claims. Still, the campaign asserts that the risks are legitimate and that standard security measures are insufficient given the current circumstances. In many respects, these demands reflect Trump's consistent persona and strategy. He has always leaned toward making bold decisions, and enhancing his security detail could reinforce his image as a no-nonsense candidate who stands resolute against both domestic and foreign dangers. This approach also resonates strongly with his supporters, who regard him as a formidable leader confronting extraordinary challenges. Conversely, critics interpret these requests as either an excessive display of force or an effort to project a presidential image despite no longer holding office. The Secret Service has yet to publicly address these demands, but internally, they are likely facing a tough call. They are obligated to safeguard former presidents and respond to genuine threats. Yet fulfilling these particular requests could require reallocating resources and establishing a precedent that complicates future security operations. Should Trump's demands be satisfied, it might open the door for similar requests from other politicians or even future former presidents, possibly placing additional strain on an already overburdened system. All of this is unfolding while Trump is embroiled in multiple legal disputes, adding another layer of intricacy to the situation. Some suggest that the heightened security measures could also serve a dual function, making his movements more discreet and controlled as he juggles court dates and campaign appearances. The campaign, naturally, has been careful to avoid overtly connecting these issues, though some commentators have observed that the timing of these requests coincides with the escalation of his legal challenges. Intriguingly, Trump's security-related demands have sparked humor online, with jokes circulating that he's gearing up for a campaign set in a war zone or staging events like military operations. Memes have surfaced humorously likening his motorcade to a scene from an action thriller, and others have noted that no previous campaign has ever operated with such intense security measures. While much of this is lighthearted, it points to a broader discussion. Are Trump's extraordinary security needs genuinely justified, or are they simply a reflection of his characteristic approach? After his recent win against Kamala Harris, it's expected that his security detail will become even more extensive. As Trump transitions into his role as president, the push for military-style security could potentially set a new precedent, raising questions about where the line is drawn between campaign-related protection and governmental authority. The spotlight is firmly fixed on him, not only for the policies he plans to advocate, but also for the unparalleled security detail he is set to command. The nation is on the verge of witnessing a presidency safeguarded at an extraordinary level. With a family fortune that could rival the economies of smaller countries, the lavish lifestyle of America's former first son, Barron Trump, exudes opulence, indulgence, and incredible wealth. From flying aboard private jets to residing in grand estates and attending the most exclusive events around the globe, Barron's existence is a constant showcase of luxury and splendor. Join us as we delve into the remarkable life of Barron Trump, where even what seems unimaginable to most is simply another ordinary day for the young heir to the Trump fortune. Born on March 20th, 2006, in New York City, Barron's upbringing was nothing short of a real-life fairy tale. With much older half-siblings ranging in age from 13 to 28, Barron essentially grew up as the family's youngest prince, enjoying a childhood akin to that of an only child. His father, Donald Trump, boasts an impressive net worth of $7.5 billion, having achieved fame as a real estate tycoon and as the star of the iconic reality show The Apprentice. Meanwhile, his mother, Melania Trump, transitioned from a successful modeling career to the prestigious role of First Lady. Together, Donald and Melania ensured that Barron's childhood was steeped in unapologetic luxury. Raised in the bustling center of Manhattan, Barron spent his formative years in the opulent Trump Tower. Situated on the prestigious Fifth Avenue, this renowned high-rise was the stage for his childhood experiences. Unlike other kids, Barron enjoyed the unique privilege of having an entire floor of the skyscraper exclusively to himself. Picture a whole level of a towering building transformed into a personal playground. His early years were defined by lavish indulgence, where his desires were effortlessly met and his imagination had no boundaries. This extravagant environment allowed Barron to fully pursue his passions and hobbies without restriction. The immense wealth and power of the Trump family also granted him access to opportunities that few children could even imagine. He shared memorable moments with his father at their Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida. Known as the Winter White House, the expansive property features world-class amenities such as a golf course, swimming pools, and pristine private beaches. Barron and his father bonded over rounds of golf, shared meals, and quality family time within this luxurious retreat. Shortly after his birth, Barron Trump was introduced to the spotlight, with his media debut occurring when he was only a few weeks old. In May 2006, the infant appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show, marking his first appearance on television. During the show, Oprah's close friend Gayle King conducted a special interview with Donald and Melania Trump, allowing the proud parents to present their newborn son, Barron, to a global audience.